Well, no, I mean, when we were making Super Size Me, this is a great example. Like, so when we were finishing this film, and we were talking about earlier tonight, so we just submitted Super Size Me to Sundance. So we just submitted to the festival, and we said, well, we should have a test screening. We should show this movie to people. And I mean, I didn't know how to do that, but I'd seen people standing outside of Angelica with clipboards. So I said, well, first off, we should get some clipboards. And so then we stood out in front of the Angelica Film Center and on Broadway and Mercer in New York City, and we got people coming out of these independent films, and we said, excuse me, would you like to come to a test screening of an independent documentary film? Oh, you would? Great. Can we get your name and phone number? So we took down name and phone numbers. We called all these people. We got about 50 people to come to a screening room. I'm trying to remember what it was. It was the Goldcrest screening room over on the west side. Yeah. And so we got about 50 people into the screening room. We showed them the movie, and myself and the two editors were there. And after the film, myself and the two editors came down to the front of the room just to kind of get some feedback. And a woman says, "I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for making this film and for showing how terrible these corporations are and that they're manipulating us and lying to us. It is terrible." And then a guy on the other side of the room raises his hand. He's like, what movie did you watch? He goes, "You are a crazy person." And he's like, you're a crazy person. You're stupid. So they start yelling at each other across the room. And I lean over to the two editors and I'm like, this is awesome. This is amazing. And so in that moment where there was like this incredible visceral reaction to this movie we made, it was, I couldn't even explain it. Like it was like a light went on. And like the next day we're in the edit and we're talking about what the comments that were usable, what the actual viable comments, what they said of what we should change. And then like we were just talking about the reaction. I was like, we should figure out a way where we could do this every week. Like it's taken us, at this point we're about 8 months into the production process. I was like, how can we do this faster? How can we do more? How can we create more? How can we deal with issues like we did with this movie, on a much more timely basis? And like we went into Sundance with the idea of 30 days, with the TV show that we created on the heels of Super Size Me. I already knew that as soon as we sold Super Size Me, we were going to take that TV show out. And so we sold Super Size Me at Sundance, and I was on a plane to LA like days later pitching 30 days. I said, this movie's going to come out in May. Here's the TV show we want to make. We can deal with a ton of different issues. It doesn't just have to be me. It can be other people. And I mean, it was awesome. Like that's one thing I tell people all the time is like, so you have this one thing. As a filmmaker, you can't think about one thing. As a creator, you can't think about one thing. You have to think about the next thing and the next thing. And you have to be 2 or 3 steps ahead. You have to be Bobby Fischer. You have to be looking at your career as steps where it's not this step, it's 5 steps, it's 10 steps. Where do I want to be 16 plays from now? And what do I want to accomplish and what will get me there? And you have to already be thinking about the next project. And you already have to have that in your pocket or more than that in your pocket. So that you're not just stuck there going, well, I don't know what I'm going to do next. You already know what you're going to do next. And the fact that we sold that right out of Sundance was a huge coup for us because it just enabled us to have much more freedom, I think, as producers, as creators, as filmmakers.